believe we peaked in the 90s. Come on, come on, come on, prove me wrong. Tuck your friendship bracelet back in your shell suit sleeve. Come on back in time with me. Fiddle again, and hello, it's Vo. Welcome back to Project Zomboid. Our man Ramos has got up at 7:30, a little bit late. That's fine. It's half foggy. Hopefully that'll clear up by later on. Better sort out our generator before we have a day of adventuring. We've been working on our shortcut. Get some extra logs to work on our base whilst trying to clear a path that's going to help us get to and from the country club, which is our last major area that we need to clear through. We're doing pretty well at cleaning our clothes. Not necessary, but it helps us get through more clothes that we can put patches on, give ourselves a little bit more protection. We're also getting pretty successful with plastering. Still seems to be hit or miss which surfaces it'll let us plaster. But we'll try and get as many done as we can. So then we can paint these walls. Give us a little bit more variation to our different rooms. Help spruce up the base a little bit. Yeah, you don't seem to be able to paint the doors, but never mind. Yeah, we've got plenty of bags of plaster powder. Just mix them up in a bucket of water. Get them applied. Got plenty of paints and brushes and things. Once we've got this done, yeah, we'll try and plaster as many of the walls as we can. Can't seem to do it on the metal walls, it's just the wooden ones. As I say, it'll give us a bit of variation. Help us decorate. Yeah, we're working our way through our cooking book as well. Make progress on that. See if we can finish the cooking skill before we finish the mission. Doing well with our exercising. Got the regularity bar maxed out, so we should be getting fitness XP. Because of the traits we selected in the beginning, being strong and athletic. Our strength and fitness are high levels, and to get that last 1 or 2 levels on each obviously takes a lot of XP. Exponential amounts of XP required to level up as you get through. We do get a little bit of cooking XP from making up these salads. We're still trying to bring our weight down a little bit, avoiding being overweight. Tidying up our cars a little bit. Got enough vehicles that we can try and organise them. Yeah, it's usually the batteries that seem to be going. They're good condition cars that seem okay but aren't going. Yeah, we can easily swap out batteries if we need to. so we can move the cars. Get them all put in the right place. Yeah, a lot of them are in pretty good nick, other than just the battery. It's not the end of the world. Gives us a chance to pick up anything that we've forgotten about, left behind in the vehicles. Yeah, this fan should work fine, but it doesn't. Looks like it's in such perfect condition, but no, it won't go. I guess we can strip out all the good parts and put them in other vehicles. Now that we've got our garage set up, we've got more room for mechanic stuff, car parts. So yeah, we can sort of cannibalize some of the cars that are in that little car park. Take the parts back here. Reawaken some of our other vehicles if we need to. It's all the way into the afternoon before the fog clears. Still got some thunder and lightning. Not great conditions to be venturing out too far. Yeah, good conditions for staying home and working on the base. To have your battling done in good conditions. Obviously the restriction on your visibility and the distraction of the noise of the rain and things like that could cause you to get snuck up on. Yeah, sometimes you're feeling brave and you want to take on a bunch of zombies. Other times, not so much. Yeah, there's always things to be done. Steal some windows from the bar, nice and close. Don't have to take them too far back to the base. And now that we've got our own bar in the base, don't think we'll be needing that building at all, really. Just harvest it for its furniture. Do some more plastering where we can. Some walls are more awkward than others, that it wants us to go round to the other side of them. We've still got some strange visuals that it looks as though there's gaps in the flooring and stuff. Try to cover them up as much as we can. This rug here, maybe just try and use carpeting. If you don't put down the carpets in the same shapes as you pick them up, sometimes the pattern goes all skew with. Also try and use these crates to cover up certain things, as long as we can get past and the place is functional. We can start adding our paint now that we've got things plastered up. Yeah, it's not a good indication of how much paint you've got left in the bucket, how much it's going to do. I think if we just use similar colours, if we run out, should be fine. Not too concerned about everything matching. It's already an upgrade doing any decoration at all, really. Again, the parts of the wall that have the door frame and the door in them seem to be a little bit awkward to paint. It's been very hit or miss which surfaces want to accept being plastered.
Doesn't seem to want to do these ones with the doors in them. Yeah, we're switching up colours slightly. Nobody will notice. Can't think that there's going to be many visitors to our base. If they're zombies, they're not going to be critiquing the decor, I'm sure. Our empty paint buckets can act as more collectors for the water that we can use to feed the crops if we don't get any rain for a few days. Yeah, the crops don't mind the tainted water. Again, it's a bit awkward trying to paint some of these surfaces. I'm sure it's our water collector barrels being right up against the wall, stopping him from getting in about. I have to paint them from the other side. Yeah, a little bit awkward, but we'll get there. It's definitely coming together. Get a few internal walls to sort of separate out this upper section. Could just use it mainly for storage of the more awkward items that we're not necessarily going to need. Get a lot of stuff from dismantling the electronics. So we could always store all the bulbs and things up here. Yeah, some of the smaller collections of materials and items don't necessarily need a whole room dedicated to a skill. Could try and set up our sleeping area upstairs. Could even destroy the stairs themselves and then just use ropes to climb up. That would make it so the zombies couldn't come upstairs to get you when you were sleeping. I generally prefer the claustrophobic box in a box in a box. I'd rather have layers and doors, keeping the zombies away. So we'll work on our gardening. While it's raining, it's good to sow seeds. You know, get watered instantly and start going. Still got enough chocolate to bait our mousetraps. I'm sure when you first start playing, you say, chocolate, quick, eat it. But no, it's more useful for trapping. Yes, in the apocalypse, sometimes you have to eat the boring rubbish food. You have to save the good stuff to attract animals for that good protein. Yeah, but some of our stuff starting to turn from stale to rotten. Even though it shows as stale, by the time we get it into a salad, essentially some of it is rotten. We don't want to eat rotten food because we've got a weak stomach. But having the higher level of cooking skill, you can use a little bit of rotten food. And your preparation is going to mitigate the damage it would do. Take our van out of our garage, back to the warehouses. See if we get any more materials that we actually want. Mainly just start taking some boxes. Want some of the better colours of paint. Yeah, some paints. More plaster powder. And the crates themselves. You You can hold a few crates before you get super overloaded. You can transfer them into your bag if you've got room. You can carry more, make fewer trips. You can also back up the van all the way into the warehouse. Makes things easier for you. Only once you've cleared out all the Zeds, obviously. Yeah, you can just dump out everything onto the floor and then have a look through the floor items. We'll try and take what we think is useful at the time. It's been raining all day, but yeah, that's what you get when you make it into September. So we start transferring some of these crates. It's going to help us hide this awkward angled roofing. Does a pretty good job until you move around. Try and cover up these parts as best we can to make things look a bit better. Try and make it make a bit more sense. But yeah, we can use these rows of crates for storage, like loft area storage. Some of the buildings are more square, easier to sort of build on the roof. Yeah, generally better building out. Want a nice wide flat base rather than trying to build a skyscraper. Rabbits want cabbage, not beef. Yeah, we need to pop more traps down. Hopefully these metal ones are less likely to break if we do catch something and then don't come back for it fast enough. Hopefully it'll be less likely to be destroyed than these lesser wooden traps, these more basic things. Not sure if you should spread them out a little bit more, if that affects your success rate. But yeah, we'll just largely spam that area with as many different kinds of traps and things. Don't necessarily need the food supply. It's better to have too much than too little. Does get us trapping XP. So after a ciggy, we'll let him have a sleep. Get a triple day episode. He's up at 4. That's not much use. Hopefully it'll be better weather today. Can do a little bit more, maybe do some forestry. Still on the salads. Plenty of stale ingredients to try and get through. Yeah, when you've got too much food, it's hard to sort of manage it all. Be efficient at getting it eaten in the right order. Probably don't need as many crops on the go. Probably don't need to be doing any trapping at all, really. He's in for the long haul. It's better that he has the skill. Pop a hole in our bedroom box just through to the warm room that has our antique oven in it. The idea being if he fires up the antique oven, it should heat up both rooms now that they're connected. So we made some progress. Drive our car all the way down. We're more than halfway there. We just need to sort of come across. Don't need to go down so much. Start coming across at an angle. Make the path big enough for the car to get through. It certainly seems feasible that we can create this shortcut. As I say, it'll give us plenty of logs for the base. Can work on roofing this level. Yeah, he can definitely start his own roofing business if everything blows over and goes back to normality, which of course isn't happening. But yeah, you can certainly feel proud in his abilities. Get this layer all sealed up, out of the rain. And we can work on our garden. Don't need to fully enclose it until the temperatures are going down to single digits. Want to protect our crops from the frost. As time goes on. Gonna make a soup. Yeah, the soups and the stews you can add different ingredients into. Might help us get through some of the stuff that we need to cook off. Yeah, the stews are more accepting of the meat products rather than just all veggies like the soup. Seems to be more stuff you can put in a stew. Yeah, slightly different options. Yeah, even if we've already cooked the meat, once we've put it into the stew or the soup, and cook it all again, that lets us get additional XP from cooking the same thing twice, basically. Yeah, I don't want him to eat the whole thing. Surely it's a massive portion. So just let him have half. Don't want him piling back on the weight. Got the first, we're cold. It's chilly. It's probably like the rain and the wind is having an effect rather than just the temperature. But yeah, we're certainly surviving long enough. It will become an issue. Get him to finish off his book. Get that popped away. Have a look and see what's next. And we're back out stealing furniture. Yeah, there's a few things we can do to push through to the next level of things. It's always good to have a book to read. Maybe do some John McClaning. Step on some glass and try and get our first aid level up. We can read the second first aid book. Yeah, we'll keep working on our second floor. These crates. Try and complete this line. Some chairs for the sort of balcony areas. Yeah, you want to build your base with tiers, so there's room around the side, so if you do fall off a roof, you're only falling down to the next level. And you're on the deck around the top. It's good health and safety. Baked into the design so you can't fall off the roof and die. Gonna try and get these walls painted before we pop down more crates around here. Ideally we see if we can cover up some of these holes with the crates. Yeah, we're trying to make these colours match a little bit more. Not super important. Yeah, we'll try and use different colours, different places. But not be too strict about it. Really, we just want a little bit of variance. So the base is interesting. Not just all metal and wood. Garage feels like it was purpose built, you know. Nice concrete floor. We'll have to see if we can pull up some of that grass. It's coming through the concrete. Yeah, once it's plastered and painted, looks a lot better. Like it's meant to be, you know? Yeah, this little room is like the garage reception. You'd sit waiting for your car to be dealt with. Yeah, these little porches are good. Provide us access on the ropes to get up and down from the roof. Yeah, if it was to be stormed in the base by the military or the zombies or the raiders, then hopefully be pretty fluent in escaping them and getting up and down levels and giving them a slip. Yeah, very strange. Lex does a couple of the doors. All of a sudden, all the door ones. Why? Very strange. Didn't let us do them before, but will let us do them now. Yeah, not a perfect system, but hey, we're getting there. He's tired out. He's going to have a little snooze for an hour. He did get up early, so can't blame him too much. Yeah, a little bit more work in the evening. Hopefully I won't get too tired too quick. Yeah, seeing what we need to do. At least the weight's going down. Should be fine. Gonna go and fill up all of our empty gas cans. So we've got loads of them. Drag them all back in to our generator room. Should keep us going for a while. Yeah, it certainly helps that the garage is quite close. Petrol station. Obviously, the more gas cans you've got, the less frequently you'll need to go back and forth. Yeah, basing up quite close to a gas station is a good idea for the long term, because you will end up having to go back and forth on it. Yeah, it's a lovely colour. Yeah, we'll use up all of this one. That's certainly given the base a bit of character. Looks better. Feels more like home. A sink that was needing plumbed in. Yeah, always things we've missed. Definitely got enough water. Definitely got enough sinks and rain collector barrels. I'm sure even if it didn't rain for about 50 days, I think we'd still be fine. It's better to have too much than not enough. Yeah, 17 spiked baseball bats. That should see us through, really. Still prefer a crowbar, but whenever I get a baseball bat, it's good to mod it with some nails, a little bit of extra damage. It does repair it a little bit if it's not full condition. Or some exposure survival on the tapes we haven't seen. Get us some fishing XP. There we go. Another level up. The easy way. Yeah, exposure survival led me to believe that paper clips were going to be far more important than they actually are. Yeah, I think you can make a fishing rod with just sort of twine and a paper clip and a stick. But there's enough fishing supplies that you'll find that you wouldn't need to do that. So I've never actually had to use the paper clip for that. But Dean gives you the impression like it's the most essential thing that you could pick up. Double fishing. Yeah, not something we need to pursue. Fishing takes a bit of time. We've definitely already got enough food, and we've got crops growing. And we've got traps baited. Definitely not going to need another source of food. But if trapping and farming were limited, sure. Just need a little bit more XP before we could read the next fishing book. It probably takes a lot of fish to get that bit of XP. We'll get there. He's a survivor. He's doing well. We'll get one more day. Because he wasn't tired enough in the evening after his little snooze. He's up at 3. It's going to be a long day. Alright, not much use when you don't have a book to read. decide what we're going to do is do the John McClane. The one window that was busted by the zombies when we arrived here, to take it as a base. The broken glass is still on the floor. So we've removed our military boots and just walked all over the broken glass. And hobbled our way to our medical room. Yes, our health is depleting quite rapidly, but it's fine. You get the most XP from removing the shards of glass, but you can get plenty of first aid experience just from bandaging things up. And if the wounds are pretty bad, then the bandages are going to get dirty quite quickly. And if you're using the little plasters, the adhesive bandages, then it's going to be a lot faster. So you can just keep applying bandages to a wound that really needs stitching. And that'll get you a constant stream of XP. Don't want his health to get too low. Yeah, it doesn't seem to be dropping. It's only when you're having to change the bandages and things. You're bleeding again. But yeah, we can just repeat this. Taking out the glass shards. Keep bandaging things up. Keep using disinfectant every couple of times that you're changing the bandage. Yeah, we can just keep doing that. As long as our health's not getting too low. If we do get an infection, then we've got antibiotics that we can take. When you first start playing, it's quite easy to pick up injuries. Not even necessarily from the zombies, but just forgetting to clear out broken glass from a window before climbing through it, or even just running through the woods and scratching yourselves on the tree branches and stuff. So there's plenty of opportunity for first aid. But if all else fails, yeah, just do a deliberate John McClane. Step on some glass. That's got us access to the next first aid book. I say it's always good to be making progress of some sort. Thankfully it's a better day today. No fog or heavy rain. We're starting to fill up our composter. Good for all the creepy crawlies that we've got in there. Give them some material to process. Weight is still going down. Ideally it'd be about 80. Yeah, we'll have another salad. We can keep it around 80. We can lean more into the stews and the soups. Try and make a push for the most cooking XP that we can get. Good to complete as many of the skills as we can. We've still got time to do the last of the exploring. Clear out all the remaining zombies that are in our area. Through all the remaining containers. Get all the useful loot. Yeah, it feels like we're making progress in the right direction. But the forest is quite thick between us and the golf course. Definitely need to come down more than across. Even if we're not making a perfect line, doesn't really matter, we're just generating more lumber. Yeah, we're almost down to 70 boxes of nails. I'm sure that'll be enough to keep us going. Yeah, that's pretty much the limit of how big a base you can build. It's dictated by how many boxes of nails you've got. Make like a central sort of corridor. Block off these bits. Do some internal design. Separate out some rooms. Again, hopefully try to hide the strange architecture elements like the roof. Make the place look a lot more solid. Disconcerting to see blood all over the floor. He's dragged himself round to the medical room. He'll hopefully replenish him. Plenty of good food. Help him replace that missing blood. 29 spears, that's exactly what we need. Okay, do a little repairing of our broken machete. It's entirely done, so we're just about to see how much we can apply to it with tape. See how far we can bring it back from being entirely broken. Each time you make a repair, chances of being less effective. Sometimes you do a repair and the condition doesn't go up at all. You can see the chances of success. It's like a limit to the amount of times you can repair something, and it's just not doing you any good. But we've got plenty of duct tape. This is what it should be for. And to keep our good weapon. Machete is king. So have ourselves another little snooze. Hopefully not going to wreck us later on. That's what happens when you wake up too early. They have a mild trauma. I'm not surprised he's tired after losing a bit of blood. So we go out for an early evening drive to resume our mission. Do a bit of chopping of logs and zombies. Yeah, that big rain that we had probably moved some more of the zombies around. Yeah, just because you've quote-unquote cleared an area, just always stay frosty. Zombies from other areas could wander into the area that you think is clear. You just got to be super observant. Don't let them sneak up on you. So we're making decent progress with the base. We're making decent progress with our shortcut. Still seems quite feasible. Not that it's going to take us too much time. Go and get some more decoration for the base. try and take one of these rugs, but again, if it's got a big pattern on it, you kind of have to put it back down the way you picked it up for it to make sense. Let's see if that can help us cover up some of the illusions of gaps in our flooring. We can take some of the fancy flooring and see if we can pop that down over the gap. Yeah, just trying to counterbalance the strange graphics when you're dealing with the roofs. Found some more booze in the back of the off license that we didn't take last time. So we'll take that with us for our bar. So there's a few more things for decoration. Take this table and chairs for our little office bit on the second floor. Take all this stuff back. It's furniture stores if you want bigger pieces of furniture. Can have a couch for our warm room. It'd be good to take a couple of these racks for putting our clothes on, rather than needing to keep them all in the boxes and things. Hopefully this will have capacity for a lot more clothes and it'll look better. So I'll take a few of these back to base. Make our improvements. Get them set up like this. Yeah, we've got nice racks of things. I think that looks better. Just the cardboard boxes holding random clothing items. And that's all progress, perfecting our beautiful fortress. Only a couple of zombies killed. To make more of an effort next episode to go out on a bit of a killing spree. Keep making progress on the zombie population. Try and clear out some of the areas closer to the golf course and the country club. Yeah, we'll send him off to bed. Read a little bit of his book. His wounds are infected, so we'll get him some antibiotics. And hopefully he can sleep off that infection. And hopefully when we remove our stitches, he'll be fine again. Ready for the next trauma when we want to level up again. Yeah, they're scratched now rather than a deep wound, which we should be able to just deal with normal bandages. Yeah, same with this one. Just an infected scratch now. So yeah, we'll keep them clean, keep them bandaged, and hopefully they'll be sorted in a day or two. Yeah, progress is progress. Sometimes that's the cost of it. So we'll come back next time and pick up where we left off from. Until then, do take it easy. I'll see you all in the next one.